Yo, what's going on, world? It's your boy P Cuffed. I'm back with another podcast. Got some new equipment still figuring out. Starting off with local music. It's my homeboy I grew up with, Sonny, right here. I'll make sure I tag him and everything everywhere I post this at so y'all can add him up. But, yeah. Fuck with it.
And I can whip it in the microwave. Like what the fuck I need a stove for. And I can whip it in the microwave. Like what the fuck I need a stove for. Price so good, fake promo. Whipping line up, no romo. Money so long, it came for. Line at the door, I got stains, bro. Sonny gotta get their way, no. Gotta keep moving cause they slow. Tell them what's the winner when the main though. I'm picking up shit in my range, bro. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brand new white Louis belt, look like baking soda, take it off the shelf. Grab a fan and let it air dry.
Yeah,
Take
that's
it
my
out
homeboy Sonny. Started off with that, man.
Okay.
But welcome to the BrainSurfin Podcast. It's been a minute. The trade deadline just ended about 37 minutes ago. So we gonna hop in. Starting off with the Orlando Magic, since they made the most trades. You know, big name they gave up was they big man Nikola. A lot of y'all might not know who he is, depending how much you follow basketball, then being a small market. And a lot of y'all talking basketball, but not really knowing this shit like that. But anyway, got the boy Nikola, him and Aminu both got traded to the Bulls for Wendell Carter Jr. and Otto Porter, along with a few draft picks. Man, that's a big move for the Bulls because they already got Zach LaVine over there killing. And I like Wendell Carter Jr., but I feel like Nikola is an upgrade. I like Otto Porter too, but you know, Aminu can go in there and do similar things that Otto Porter can do. So I wouldn't be too worried about them losing that, and of course they weren't too worried about it. But yeah, great pickup for Orlando, great pickup for the Chicago Bulls, and not a terrible pickup, not a terrible trade for the Magic. You know what I mean? Like, you clear some space, and you're just basically rebuilding. More proof to that would be the next trade I'm going to talk about. Orlando Magic again. They gave Aaron Gordon and Gary Clark to the Denver Nuggets for Gary Harris Jr., R.J. Hampton, a first-round pick for the next year draft, and the future first-round pick, I think it was for 2025, so not that long from now, but irrelevant. Once again, Orlando just clearing up space, you know, rebuilding. They kept my boy over there, a little funny shot, Markelle Fultz. But yeah, giving up Nikola, Aminu, Aaron Gordon, Gary Clark. It's a total rebuild. Bringing in Gary Harris, a proven shooter who is basically a vet at this point. Great to pick him up, put him next to Fultz, who's a good passer. He's aggressive, and his jump shot's getting better as time goes on. R.J. Hampton, my bad. Great pickup. Rookie, he wasn't going to find much time in Denver. When they drafted him, I was a little thrown off by that, but it makes sense now that they maybe just getting him to hold on to him and use him as bait to get something else in the future, which they ended up doing this season, along with a first-round pick for next year so they can stay young or use that for more trade bait in the future, and then another first-round pick for 2025. The next trade I'm going to talk about, once again, Orlando Magic's going crazy. They gave up Evan Fournier to Boston for 2 first-round picks. That was clearly some cap space type stuff because, no disrespect to Evan, but he's nothing, I don't know. Okay, put it like this. I'm more confused that Boston took this trade because they had a bunch of first-round picks and draft picks they had collected over years, whatever, and they just gave one up for Evan Fournier, who to me is just, an on-ball scorer. He can catch and shoot also, but when you already got a bunch of guys who create their own shot, I don't really fully understand why you bring him in. Like, you already feel that, understand that, not feeling it. Next, we go on to a new team, the Toronto Raptors. They gave up Norm Powell to the Portland Trailblazers for Gary Trent and Rodney Hood. Portland, you got guys who spread the court. You picked up another one. It's not bad. I don't think it's a great trade for Portland. They could have did something better, but maybe other trades weren't going through. They had to do what they had to do. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm not big on that trade the trade for Portland. It's kind of, yeah, I'm sorry, but not feeling that too much. After that, well, in the same sense, the Raptors getting Rodney Hood and Gary Trent. These are guys who aren't getting paid a whole bunch. They don't have a lot of years in their contract, and it looks like Toronto Raptors are rebuilding. Even though they ended up holding on to Kyle Lowry, which I'm gonna talk about a little bit later on. I guess they couldn't find a trade for it. I was hoping my Lakers, man, Lakers could pull it out, but it didn't work out. Then we got the Cavs giving up JaVale McGee and Isaiah Hartenstein to Denver just for 2 future second-round picks. Denver doesn't have to get younger, so I understand giving the picks up. And if you can do that to pick up JaVale McGee, man, that's big. Because Denver needs another guy they need a guy, period, to protect the rim. And you can play him alongside with the Joker. So, like, that's big. You know, you can have the Joker throwing lobs at him along with Jamal Murray throwing lobs to him. Like, that's a great fit. I feel like Denver definitely stepped their game up in this free agency. They definitely got better. Out of all the teams in the West that were like on the verge of being one of those teams, one of those guys, like one of those squads, I feel like Denver made the most moves and the best moves. Like, they really filled in the spots they needed. The Hawks ended up giving up Rajon Rondo, who they just got. And I thought he was in a mentor role with mentoring my boy Trae Young. You know, watching him play this year, it was weird, and it didn't look like it was making much sense, but it sounded good when I first seen the trade going through. I mean, the pickup go through in this offseason with Rajon Rondo going to the Atlanta Hawks. It looked or sounded great and looked good on paper in my eyes. And they gave him up for Lou Williams. Lou Williams to the Hawks, this is a perfect trade both ways. The Clippers need a leader who can like speak up. Paul George seems to try to be that at times, but with his track record, I feel like no one's really trying to hear that bullshit from him. So we got go in one ear, out the other one. As far as Kawhi Leonard, I don't think he talks enough. Like, I'm pretty sure obvious assumption that most of us have. So I ain't saying nothing special, but yeah. Lou Williams to the Hawks, a guaranteed scorer off your bench, even though his numbers are a little down from last year, he's getting a little older, whatever. But you got a guy who will come off the bench and give you those points that you need. You know you have that 6 man instead of having a bunch of young guys who kind of one day it's him, one day it's him. You know what I'm saying? Herder, Cam Reddish, like one day it's him. You got this guaranteed guy off the bench who's gonna give you consistent production. Like, you can't go wrong with that. And there I say, like the Clippers, they got a floor general, a real leader, a proven champion with multiple squads. Like, Rondo's that dude. I don't think Lakers would have won last year without him. So let's move on to the Pelicans. All this Lonzo Ball, good traded stuff was a big talk. I ain't fully get it, honestly, because I mess with Lonzo Ball. He's nice, but he ended up staying. Not a huge surprise. I do think that he's going to end up leaving and going to the Charlotte Hornets next year to play with his brother. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I see that happening. Yeah, Pelicans ended up giving up J.J. Redick, who they barely were using. They gave it to Dallas Mavericks for James Johnson and a second-round pick. Now, this trade makes sense for one reason. Redick didn't want to be there anyway. That's a coach he played for in the past. He wasn't feeling it. Like, Redick didn't want to be there. So like that made perfect sense. I guess you picking up James Johnson, a guy who can stretch the court, stretch the floor. He won't be in Zion's way. He could play that 4 or 5, that kind of in between. So you can damn near have him on the court with Zion, because we have Steve Adams on the court with Zion Williamson. It can cloud the paint some. So bringing James Johnson in, a big man who's not all that big, but he's big enough in today's NBA to be down there, bringing him in, being able to stretch the court, that's going to help Zion get more space. So I get that trade. And then a little irrelevant second round pick that could turn into anybody. You never know. But yeah. And one of the last things I'm going to cover, this is not a surprise, but it's a disappointment too. Andre Drummond is to be bought out. Like, I guess the Lakers getting him would have been some kind of trades, like Horton Tucker and stuff like that I'd really rather not give up. But I'm looking for the Lakers to get him or Kyle Lowry. And the Raptors held on to Lowry, so Lakers aren't getting him. The last guy in here that I'm looking at, because I wanted to also, like, Eric Gordon maybe, like, was another one I was looking at that I would love to get. JaVale McGee, honestly, like, if nothing else, I'd have been okay getting him. Lou Williams would have been cool. Rondo back would have been great. I wanted them to get J.J. Redick. So, yeah, between Aaron Gordon, J.J. Redick, Norm Powell, Andre Drummond, and Kyle Lowry, like, most of those guys have already been moved. Lowry staying. The last one left that I was looking at for hopefully Lakers to get was my boy Andre Drummond, and he's getting bought out, which I guess it raises the chance they can get him because he's getting bought out, so they can give him they can probably give him a lot smaller contract since he's going to get that money guaranteed anyway. So give him a little 1 + 1 year contract, like a 1-and-1, 1 year guarantee, finish this year out type thing, and then next year figure out what you want to do or something like along those lines. Then Kyle Lowry, I don't have it in my notes, but he's also staying with the Toronto Raptors. I think I mentioned that, but yeah, disappointing. I was really hoping my Lakers make something happen. They didn't. I'm not super surprised. They didn't have much to really work with, so yeah, I can't feel too much of a way about that. But I was definitely hoping Lakers could make something happen because that's my squad, along with the T-Wolves, But in their situation, it's like they're not gonna win anytime soon. So yeah, needless to say, this fucks up all my seedings. So what I had for y'all before the season started, and I said who will be 1 through 8 or 1 through 10, this fucks that all up. So I might even right now record another episode just to give my new seedings based on the NBA moves that was made today. Because Denver moved up, and with LA not making any moves, and Clippers making a big move, picking up Lou Williams, and the Lakers being hurt, and some things looking a little different here. Unless the buyout happens and the Lakers end up getting Drummond, but in the same sense, the Lakers could not end up getting him also, and he goes to the Brooklyn Nets. Don't want to see that. Because if that happens, then it's over for everybody. Like, if the Brooklyn Nets get Andre Drummond, that rim protector, that big man that can run the court and guard, on-ball defense not great. People see his shot blocks per game and stuff along those lines, and kind of assume that he has great on-ball defense, or he can really hold somebody to stop a guy from scoring. Not really the case. But he's an upgrade for what Brooklyn Nets have now, and he would be an upgrade for the Los Angeles Lakers. It might be a little bidding war or whatever you want to call it between those two teams. I'm hoping he picks the Lakers. Even though they're banged up and everything, I hope he picks the Lakers. But if he's like, hey, well, if he's really thinking about, like, I want to just win real quick, I don't know, man. You almost want to go to Brooklyn. Because in my eyes, here to Brooklyn is an easy ring. He go to L.A., and then Bron, or even more likely, Anthony Davis get hurt. before the playoffs or during the season and have to miss whatever happens and ends up not being able to play in the finals, and you going with Drummond, LeBron, and the rest of the guys against Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Like that can go 50-50 with Drummond on LA in that situation. You know, Anthony Davis being hurt, but if Lakers were healthy and Brooklyn had Drummond, or Lakers weren't healthy and you know what I'm saying, they didn't, and Lakers didn't have AD, either way, it kind of, you know, sways a little bit more towards Brooklyn. Hey, look, like I said, checked a few things up. I got new little sound box. I got a couple new things going on. I want to try to add it to my show. Hopefully my sounds from here actually go through, get recorded, and I can make it so you can hear it through the camera and everything. Also, if not, I'll figure it out. Work with me. But either way, I want to end off my podcast by saying thank you to everybody who tuned in to this episode, made it this far. My joint almost gone. And I'm going to end it off with another song by my homeboy Sonny, who will be tagged everywhere I post this podcast. Check me out.
She don't got it, she gon' make it happen. She a bad bitch. I ain't got no best release, I got a mag with. She a bad bitch. Don't want no average. She don't got it, she gon' make it happen. She a bad bitch. I ain't got it, no best release, she got a mag with. She a bad bitch. Let's get it back. Don't want no average. She don't got it, she gon' make it happen. She a bad bitch. I ain't got it, no best release, she got a mag with. She a bad bitch. Let's get it back. Yo, that trap shit. That jack shit, working at the club, you need that cash quick. Said that bitch don't watch her mother get her ass kicked. Yeah, the mama got me geeking, gotta have it. So that nigga bye, left his ass dry while we out in the hills smoking on that turtle pot. I get like where it connect so I can check his Wi-Fi. What the fuck, we the muscle, tell them niggas why I try. Damn, little mama got a leg. She said she busy ass niggas had some bricks. So the beat his pants down, touch his dick. And while he run up in this shit, we got them blades. Yeah, now lay it down.